Welcome, friends, to episode 6 of the series HTML Tutorial for Beginners on my YouTube channel Code with Vivek. In this episode, I'll take up HTML tables. So, let's first of all have a look at the elements which go into making an HTML table. The main wrapper element is the table element, which defines a container for tabular data. Then we have the caption element, defines a title of a table. We have the T head element, which defines a group of table rows at the start of the table. We have the T body elements, which defines a group of table rows making up the main content. We have the T foot element, which defines a group of table rows forming a footer of the table. We have the TR element, which defines a table row, and that table row might go into the T head element, into the T body element, or into the T foot element. We have the TH element, which defines a table heading within a row, and we have the TD element, which defines a table detail within a row. With this information in hand, let's move on to some of the attributes of these elements. So let's first take up certain attributes of the table element, which are essential for creating good quality tables. First is the border attribute, which specifies the border size of the table. Then we have the width attribute, which specifies the width of table in pixels or percentage. We have the cell spacing attribute, which specifies the spacing between table cells. And we have the cell padding attribute, which defines the padding within table cells. For the TD element, we have the row span property or the row span attribute, which specifies the number of rows across which the cell spans. We have the column span attribute, which specifies the number of columns across which the cell spans. And we have the align attribute, which specifies the horizontal alignment of the content within a cell. Now let's move to Visual Studio Code and see what tables we'll be creating in this session. So I'm just about to show you the finished file which we'll be creating through this session. So we'll have a feel of what exactly we are intended to do. So let's view this file in the browser. So here we have a file we have a web page with the heading HTML tables. We have 3 different tables in different formats. So the first table is having 2 columns, a title, and we see that we are having 4 total rows in the table, 1 header row and 3 rows below these header rows containing some content. So let's start off coding on our own. Let's start with creating the first table in this sample file, and we'll create the same table through our own HTML coding. So let's have a look at the content. It says sales analysis March 2021, item, quantity, and then we have 3 items below this with different quantities sold in the month. So let me start building the table from scratch. Let me move to HTML code. Here I'll just create a new file. Name it tables.html. I'll pick up the skeletal HTML structure from my template file and I'll move off creating the content within this web page. So first of all, I'll give the title HTML tables. Within the body, I have a heading which states HTML tables. I have a horizontal row below this line, and I have a heading which says Vijay Electronics, and below this heading I have a table. So let's start off with this table. Let's put in the caption element which says sales. Let's move on to the table. Sales analysis March 2021. So I'll write sales analysis March 2021. So I have a heading. So I give a T head element. I start off with a row. I give a table TH component within this. I'll say item. I'll give another TH element. I'll give the heading quantity numbers. Then I'll move on to the body section of the table. I'll say T body. And within this, I'll create a row. And let's see what content is in the sample file. It says LED TV quantity 10. So I'll write the same content here within the TD element, table detail. I'll say LED TV. And another table detail means it is just like a column of the table. So I'll say TD and quantity has to be 10, right? So let's save this particular page. Let's view this in the browser. And we see that our table is in the formative stage. We are having a sales analysis March 2021 heading, title, and we are having item, LED, quantity, numbers 10. So to match this format with what we have seen in the sample file, we'll give certain attributes for different elements in the table. So let's start off with providing the table a fixed width and giving the table a particular border. So within the table element, I'll say border equal to 1, width equal to 500 pixels. So here we are. Let's see the effect of these attributes on the table. See, here we are. Sales analysis March 2021, item LED TV, quantity numbers 10. So comparing this with our sample file, which we are already have as a completed file, we see that the heading table title here is bold. So we need to provide a bold tag and we need to enclose our caption within this bold tag. So let's do that. And we also observe that the content LED TV and quantity 10 has some padding from the borders. So this is what is controlled by the cell padding attribute. So let us move to the table element and let us put in the cell padding attribute so that our table looks nicer with certain white spaces, certain amount of white space. So let's improvise this. Another difference I am seeing is that my quantity is aligned in the center, like quantity numbers 10 is in the center below the heading, and also my item column is wider as compared to my quantity column. So I can control these values by giving the width of columns also. So let's go about this. Let's control this width and alignment of the quantity below the heading. So moving on to the HTML. I'll enclose the content of my caption within a bold tag. I'll give my first column a width of 60% and I give my second column a width of 40%. and I align. I give the align attribute for the TD element. I'll say align equal to center. So moving back to HTML, I refresh the page and I see that it has taken effect. So my title is now bold. My quantity is aligned center below the heading. Now I need to put in the cell padding attribute to give some white spaces between the content and the borders of the cells. So let's move to again to the table element. Let's give it a cell padding of 10. Let it be 5 pixels. Okay, and we'll refresh and see the effect. If we need some more cell padding, we can increase the value. We can make it 10 pixels. So more white space would be introduced after we increase the cell padding. So here we are, our basic format of the table is ready. Now we can go about adding the other rows of the table. Below LED TV, I'll add mobiles 74 and air conditioner 18. So mobile 74, I can even copy paste the table row element and make the necessary changes. So I had copied this table row element structure. I'll make the changes here. Mobiles, change the quantity 74. Again I paste the same table row structure. I make the change here, air conditioner. I give the value 18. I save it, move to the web browser, refresh it. So here we are, and the first table is ready. So HTML tables heading needs to be aligned to the center. So I move back again to my HTML. I move to the H1 element and I give it an attribute align equal to center. So here we are with our heading and the first table ready. Now we see that we have a horizontal row, that we have a line below the table. So we'll add that, and we have a second table with a heading recommended books and a caption my recommendations. So let's start off coding the second table. We'll start with the horizontal line. I'll give a break tag out here in the horizontal line, and I'll start with the other table. I'll say table border equal to 1, width equal to 500 pixels, cell padding equal to 10. I can even give a value like this 10, right, without pixels. So in the caption I need to write my recommendations. I need to wrap it in a bold tag. And I'll have it heading of book recommendations. Recommended books, sorry. So it is recommended books. So let's see what table headings we are having out here. They are serial number, book and author. So serial number, book and author. to table body, we add the first detail which says serial number 1. Below serial number we have the content 1, and we can observe that this content is aligned center. So I can straight away give align center. Second detail element carries a image enclosed within it, and third detail element carries a hyperlink to the author's Wikipedia page. So let me start by enclosing images within the table detail tag. So in this particular table, we can observe that we can even embed images within table details, and we can even give hyperlinks or any sort of content within table details. So first of all, enclosing images, I have already downloaded these images to the images folder of my content directory. So I can straight away pick the images from there. I can start off with an image tag. I'll say image source equal to images folder, autobiography of a yogi, alt equal to autobiography of a yogi, so here we are with the image embedded within the table detail, and I need to put a hyperlink to the name of the author. So here the name of the author is Sri Paramahansa Yogananda. So I put a hyperlink, I put an anchor tag with href equal to, I'll need to see the Wikipedia page of the author, and I'll type in the name of the author within the anchor tag, Sri Paramahansa Yogananda. So I move on to my browser. I type in the name of the author and type Wikipedia in the end. So I'll be taken to the Wikipedia page. I can copy the URL and paste it within the href attribute of the anchor tag. So here we are. Now I can move to my page, I can refresh it and see I have the content out here. So here I can observe, comparing to my sample web page, that the width of the image is larger as compared to the sample page, so I can reduce it. I can use the width attribute of the image, and I can restrict the width of the image to, let us say, 150 pixels. I'll refresh my page and see the image size is now reduced as per my width attribute. I move on to creating the second row of this table. So I'll copy the initial table row structure and I'll make the necessary changes. So the serial number has to be 2. The image has to be of a different book. I'll pick it up from images folder. I'll say the 5 people image, and alt will say the 5 people you meet in heaven. and the link also has to be Wikipedia page of the author, which is Mitch Albom. So here we have the Wikipedia page of the author for this book. We'll copy the URL, we'll paste it. We'll put in the name of the author here. We'll move to the browser, refresh the page and see the content displayed. So here we are. So something is missing out here. Let me check out. Okay, I have not put in the closing inverted commas for the href attribute. So I'll move on again to the page. I'll refresh the page and see here we have the second table with just one observation, that the cells seem to have some space within each other. We can see some spaces out here, but in my sample web page, the border is a single line with no space between cells. So for this particular content to have no cell spacing, I need to put in the cell spacing attribute within the table element. I'll put in the cell spacing attribute and put its value to be 0. So cell padding. So before that I can say cell spacing equal to 0. So spacing between cells will be removed and it will have the effect on the looks of the table. I see there's no space between cells now. So this is my second table. Now again moving on to my sample web page, I see there's a third table which is containing the midterm result of students of a school. So let us again move to the code window. Let us create this table. So name of the school is DAV Senior Secondary School. So let me insert a horizontal row. Then I have a second level heading which says DAV Senior Secondary School. So I have to start off with the table. I can straight away say border equal to 1, cell spacing equal to 0, cell padding equal to 10 and width equal to 900 pixels. I'll start with the caption which says midterm result. I'll enclose the content of the caption within a bold tag. I'll give a T head section with the T row within, and we have there is a certain complexity in this table. First have a look of the first column, student name, and then we move on to the right section of the table. We see there is a heading subjects beneath which we have 3 subheadings: English, Hindi, Maths. So such a table has a use of row span and column span attributes within the TD elements. So let us see how exactly we are going to go about this. So first of all, the first table heading I am going to take up, that table heading is spanning across 2 rows. The student name table heading is spanning across 2 rows. The one row which is taken up by the subject heading and the second row which is taken up by English, Hindi and Maths subheadings. So I need to give the column span property here, row span property here to be 2. So between the first TH element, I give a row span property equal to 2. and my heading is student name. So I say student name. Now moving out to the second heading, I see the subject heading is spanning across three columns. So here I say column span equal to 3. So I have heading subject, and then talking about the other three headings, my subjects are English, Hindi and Maths. So English, Hindi and Maths. So here we have the table with our headings ready, and now we move on to the body section of the table. I'll take up the first content row. So I have here, if I see, I have the name Anil and marks of the three subjects. So here I can see that marks of subjects are aligned in the center. Horizontally, they are aligned in the center. So Anil 70, 85 and 82. So Anil, ED, align equal to center. So I can copy this content and I cannot take up the values from the sample web page which says 70, 85 and 82. And I see I have how many students out here? I have total 4 students. Okay. So 70, 85, 82. Before taking these values, I may copy the skeletal structure of this table row so that my typing effort is reduced. I copy it 3 times. So I have content for 4 students in hand. And now I can change on the values out here. So I have 70, 82, 85 and 82. So second student name is Pankaj and he has a marks of 91, 88 and 77. So 91, 88 and 77. Name is Pankaj. Next, I am having a student named Sanjay with marks of 65, 72 and 78. So 65, 72 and 78. Name is Sanjay. The last student is Vinay with marks of 85, 66 and 79. So 85, 66 and 79. So name is Vinay. So moving on to our table, we refresh it. We see there is some glitch out here. So let's try to solve this. Subjects. Table heading row span equal to 2 and table heading column span equal to 3. So here I have row section complete and here is my second row starting and ending. So here we are. So see, we have got our table. Now we need the footer. Moving on to the heading section of the table, we see that we need to make a few adjustments. Here in the first table row, we have table heading span, row span equal to 2, student name, table heading, column span equal to 3, subjects, table heading close. Here we need to close the first row and we need to start the second row, which carries 3 TH elements within English, Hindi and Maths. So when we move on to the browser and we refresh this page, we see that we are having the required table with the student names and the midterm result marks of 3 subjects, English, Hindi and Maths. So here we see that we have completed 3 sort of tables. One is a basic table, which is having 2 columns and some cell spacing between different cells. Another table is carrying images and hyperlinks, and we have another table which is carrying marks of students. Now moving on to the web page we are using as a sample, we see that the marks of the students have a footer also created by class teacher and approved by principal. And we also observe that the first footer is spanning across 2 columns and the second detail of the footer is spanning again across 2 columns. So we need to put in the specific attribute column span equal to 2 in each of these table heading elements. So let us move to the Visual Studio Code window and we need to put in the tfoot element out here. With the necessary th elements with column span equal to 2, created by class teacher, and another one column span equal to 2, approved by principal. Moving on to the browser again and refreshing the page, we see created by class teacher, approved by principal is the footer below the table content as per the required design. So here we have the task accomplished. We have completed all the 3 tables. And if you like this episode, then please hit the like button. Subscribe to my channel for any future updates. And regarding any comments about the video, please put them in the comment box. Meet you again in the next episode. And the next episode I will be taking up HTML forms. Thank you, friends.